Congressmen Mike Doyle and Congressman Mike Kelly, Céad Míle Fáilte Rót go Dtí Dundalgan inniu. I also welcome online from Pittsburgh, Petra Mitchell, President and CEO of Catalyst Connection, Jim Lamb, President, Ireland Institute of Pittsburgh, Honorary Consul for Ireland, Michael Lamb, Controller of the City of Pittsburgh, Ellen Young, Executive Assistant to Congressman Mike Doyle, and Lance Jimka, Director of Allegan County Economic Development. Invited guests, media, colleagues and friends. As you know, Dundalk is situated a couple of kilometres from Northern Ireland, and like our near neighbours from the north of Ireland, the legacy of the conflict has taken its toll. I'm intrigued at how Pittsburgh managed to reinvent itself and elevate itself to the thriving city it is today, since the days of the first industrial revolution. If one tracks the huge transformation that has occurred in Pittsburgh since then to where Pittsburgh finds itself now, then there are many learnings for us in Ireland to take from your journey. In short, the need to invest in public services, innovate in industry and embrace technological advancement are key. We're very pleased that our central location on the Dublin-Belfast Economic Corridor provides a unique opportunity for us to do just that. We aim to inspire, drive growth and business prosperity from this centre. Development and advancement are critical. We intend to take full advantage of our location and drive innovation through training, upskilling and collaboration across the island. Building trust and cooperation overseas is also key if Ireland is to take its rightful place in the new global manufacturing ecosystem. Your presence here today, witnessing the signing of these MOUs, is a critical milestone on the Irish advanced manufacturing journey. Global megatrends such as climate change, sustainability, geopolitical shifts, the continuous emergence of disruptive technologies and the COVID-19 pandemic are having a destructive effect and creating an existential threat for many manufacturing processes. The development of advanced manufacturing skills are a key solution in addressing these challenges. Louth and Meath Education and Training Board's Advanced Manufacturing Centre is an All-Ireland Training Centre of Excellence, working in collaboration with industry, government departments and other key stakeholders, including Enterprise Ireland, the Industrial Development Authority, the Institute of Manufacturing Research, Portview Trade Centre, Belfast, Solace and the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Skills are now with the support of Ireland Institute of Pittsburgh and Catalyst Connection to assist us in continuously identifying and developing the dynamic capabilities for business and their current and future workforce in highly skilled and highly paid jobs. This centre will play a critical role in helping the workforce develop the new manufacturing skills required to navigate the transition and help industry in Ireland and beyond to thrive in the rapidly emerging and challenging environmental, social and corporate governance environment. On average, each manufacturing job supports 2.5 jobs in other sectors, and at the upper end, each high-tech job supports 16 others. Compared to all sectors, manufacturing has the largest multiplier. Our vision is to enable high-impact, sustainable economic development by delivering the future skills to young people on the island of Ireland and demonstrating the contribution that training and working together makes to the peace and reconciliation process. I have been directly involved with both communities in Northern Ireland and their key community leaders, and I know from these discussions that they both welcome the collaboration that is developing between the organisations. The signing of the MOU today opens trade opportunities with the employers' networks that LMETB are working with in Belfast, Mid-Ulster and throughout Ireland. These trade opportunities are cross-border, UK and now with America. The need for LMETB and our partners to collaborate and share all our knowledge, expertise, research, curricular development and industry links are key. LMETB have recently piloted 4 highly successful schools advanced manufacturing projects in collaboration with the Institute of Manufacturing Research and Fast Track into Information Technology. It is my intention to roll this project out on an all-Ireland basis and share it with our American partners. LMETB has also piloted a community based advanced manufacturing and circular economy project in Dunshaughlin, County Meath, and achieved full inclusivity. We have clear progression pathways for all young people, and again it is our intention, in collaboration with FIT, to establish a similar project in Drogheda as a direct response to the recommendations made in the Gearan report. My Director of FET, Sadie Ward McDermott, and I have initial discussions with Jim Lamb pre-COVID about sending graduates from LMETB to Pittsburgh on paid internships to key employers. We believe this is a unique learning and developmental opportunity for our young people. I'm proposing as part of this MoU signed today that we focus these internships on advanced manufacturing employers in Pittsburgh. I want to thank everyone for joining today, especially Congressman Mike Doyle and Congressman Mike Kelly, for taking time from your busy schedule with the USA delegation chaired by Richard Neal to join with us and to witness the signing of this MoU. I wish you both well in your work over the next few days in Ireland, and I look very much forward to working in close cooperation with you in the months and years ahead. I now want to call on Brendan Mackin, Chairperson of Portview in Belfast, to say a few words. Brendan.
Marty said, my name is Brendan Mackin. I'm the Chairperson of Portview Trade Centre. Portview Trade Centre is located in East Belfast. It's only, if you look at it from a landmark point of view, it's only about a half a mile from the Titanic Centre and where the Harnamove shipyard was built. At the time when it was built in 1911, it was at the leading edge of technology. Portview itself was the biggest and most modern flex spinning company in the world. It was built by a Jewish industrialist in Belfast, and they owned it for about 4 or 5 years. And I think because it was the family had a background, it was German, that it was a change of hands just post the First World War. It was taken over by Mackey's. And James Mackey, again, when we were talking about advanced manufacturing, Belfast at that time was the industrial centre of Ireland within the context of manufacturing and industry. Mackey's at that time was also the biggest textile engineering company in the world, and at one time in Belfast employed somewhere in the region of about 6,000 people. Where we are located, as I say, we're right beside the shipyard. We're also located in East Belfast, and if we're looking, Martin has said, not only are we looking to work with industry, work with the colleges, work with employers, but also what we want to do is to create access for disadvantaged kids and also disadvantaged communities. And if you're looking where Portview is located, we're actually located in one of the most deprived wards in Belfast. Yet at the same time, it's only a 15-minute walk to city centre, and as I said, 10-minute walk to it. Today in Portview, we have developed what was an old mill as over 120 years old. And at the present time, we have taken it and we have got 44 companies on site at the present. They cover technology, IT, coffee processing, breweries, designers, jewelry makers. In other words, we've got a wide range of activity. Thankfully, again, what we have actually seen is a cohesive network of people where people in Belfast are restricted in many respects, both by mindset and the physical and the political situation, but Portview in itself has sought to overcome those difficulties. With the developments that were taking place with the like of Dundalk and the opportunities. If you're looking around this place and you look at the technology and you think of what our industry and thing is changing, unless we look at the Irish economy as a whole, unless we look at where Ireland, north and south, can actually share on an island economy, if we look at how do we go outward instead of looking inward, I think the basis of where we're going is in initiatives like this. And with Pittsburgh, when I look at Pittsburgh, when I had the opportunity to visit Pittsburgh, and again, I could see parallels with the like of Belfast and the industry. Pittsburgh at one time was a leading centre of the steel industry in America. It was a way ahead of the game. And that was where everybody was looking around the world. Where's the best processes that went to Pittsburgh? Unfortunately, what happened with the whole thing of globalization, the jobs that were in Pittsburgh went somewhere else. And the same thing has happened in Belfast. In fact, we were linked in when we set up into the linen industry, which was one of the biggest industries in Ireland at that time, employing somewhere in the region of about 80, 90,000 people throughout Northern Ireland. Now when we look at it, and the linen industry and the heritage is there. Portview in itself is located in East Belfast, which you would see in geographical terms and cultural terms as being within a Protestant Unionist community. Yet at the same time, again within 10 minutes walk, you're within other areas or Catholic communities. One of the initiatives that we're linking in with Conway Mill. Conway Mill is also an old mill linked in with history and steeped in the linen industry around in West Belfast. So the initiatives we want to do is not only to create jobs and create training for the disadvantaged people, and also for people who need retraining and new training and work with employers. But at the same time, what we need to do is work on a cross-community basis to make sure that everybody from every community gets an opportunity to move forward. And that's one of the key themes that underlines the whole thing of this cross-border and the international stuff, working with people from the United States. I would like to, again, say that we have a very clear plan of where we want to go. We would say that when we develop our plans, and we're really at the hard edge of where, as we move forward, we've already started training on site. We've run robotic training, which was actually done by FIT, but brought up from Dundalk. What we want to do is to open up access between the north and the south, where people can move freely from Belfast and perhaps other parts of Northern Ireland to come to Dundalk, and that way, and Dundalk in many respects to come to people in the north. And that, I think myself, is one of the things that underlines everything that we want to do. The American situation, I think, is very, very welcome, because again, when you look again at what I said to you about a city that was in decline because it was focused around one industry. And now when you look at Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh has emerged as a centre of advanced manufacturing in the United States. And I think that there is something we need to look at. The question is, how do we bring it and how do we make sure that everybody's engaged with it? This initiative, I think, is welcome. I think it will help not only on the basis of the people in Belfast, the people in Pittsburgh, the people in Dundalk, and certainly the people throughout the island of Ireland. And I, again, welcome all of you here at the present time, and to say, just as we move forward, watch this space. Thank you.
Thanks, Brendan. I now call on Petra Mitchell, who will be online.
Yes, hello everyone, and good afternoon. Wow, thank you so much for including me here today, including all of us here in Pittsburgh here today. I'd just like to take a few minutes to introduce Callus Connection to you. We are an economic development organization. We serve manufacturing companies in southwestern Pennsylvania, which is the greater Pittsburgh region. And we believe, like all of you, that when manufacturing companies succeed, everyone in our community has the opportunity to succeed. We work with manufacturing companies to provide them consulting and training services. And I'm very pleased to share with you our offices. I want to tell you where I am. You can see a little bit of the building here behind me. I'm located in what's called the Hazelwood Green neighborhood of Pittsburgh, in a building called Mill 19. So Hazelwood Green is the last brownfield site in the city of Pittsburgh, and many of my colleagues here today are very familiar with the development of this site. But I'm sitting inside an exoskeleton of the former steel mill. The steel mill that ushered in the industrial age, as our previous speakers here talked about, that at one time employed 20 to 30,000 people here in southwestern Pennsylvania, and has been expressed also at one time closed down and all those people lost their jobs. But I am now sitting in the inside of the exoskeleton, which is a brand new modern building. I'm co-located with Carnegie Mellon University and the Advanced Robotics Institute, and we are building the future of manufacturing in this very building. There is advancements in robotics, 3D printing, artificial intelligence. This truly is the future of manufacturing, and it's happening right here. Now, Callus Connection, what we are aspiring to do is to develop a manufacturing career pathway so that once again, everyone in our community has the opportunity to participate in this advanced manufacturing resurgence. And that career pathway begins at a very young age with career exploration, workplace learning opportunities, pre-apprenticeship and registered apprenticeship programs, upskilling of incumbent workers, and in our future, we aspire to develop a comprehensive approach to advanced manufacturing technology training, again in the fields of robotics, artificial intelligence, and 3D printing. So I'm very excited to share with all of you what we have learned during the course of our activities here. And I sincerely appreciate the support from Congressman Doyle and Congressman Kelly, who have helped us along the way in developing these capabilities. But I also know that we have a lot to learn. So not only am I looking forward to sharing our methods and our processes, but learning from all of you and having that cross collaboration between our countries. So thank you again, and again, I really appreciate this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and I invite you to join us here in Mill 19.
Thank you, Petra. Your willingness to share your experience and expertise is very, very much appreciated, and I just want to note and record that. And I'll call on Jim Lamb, please.
Thank you very much, Martin. I hope you all hear me okay. First of all, I want to say thanks to both Congressman Kelly and Congressman Doyle, especially Congressman Doyle, who has been a board member of the Ireland Institute for about as long as I can remember. And so I'm delighted to have both of you visiting Dundalk today as we embark on something pretty special. The Institute has been around since 1989, and we've been bringing young people from Ireland, North and South, Catholic, Protestant, men and women, into Pittsburgh for those 30 plus years. And I can remember way back in 1992 working with the likes of Con Shanahan and Brendan Dunleavy at the Foss Training Center in Dundalk, preparing to bring young people here for what was at the time a very exciting new program, innovative program on IT skills development and all sorts of other computer-related and technology-related training. Over the 30 years, more than, some 3,000 young people from Ireland have availed of our services, either in training or the processing of visas and other sorts of cultural exchange. So we're delighted once again to be part of this kind of activity, bringing young people across. We've also worked, of course, in business, trade, and investment, working alongside the Allegheny County Department of Economic Development, which Lance Chimka now runs, and of course with the city of Pittsburgh and with Michael Lamb, our city controller, and as well as with Catalyst Connection and other chambers of commerce around the area, helping companies in Pittsburgh connect with Ireland and vice versa, working on two-way trade, two-way business, two-way investment. And so those are important parts of what we do. This partnership between Pittsburgh and Portview and the Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center allows us to combine those kinds of components, the training, the trade, the opportunities for young people to advance their skills, the opportunities for companies on both sides to connect and grow their business. So it's really an innovative combination of all of the work that we've been doing for a number of years. And of course, we couldn't do that, of course, with the champions that we have over there, including Martin O'Brien, who's been part of the development of young people, but not just around Dundalk and in Meath, but across the border into Northern Ireland. So there's been some great work there. And of course, Brendan Mackin, who I first met in Cyprus some 15 years ago. It's been a long time. It's good to see Brendan and continue to do the work that he does. So I just want to thank all of you for being part of this. Rob Tierney and I, Rob's on the call with us. We are really looking forward to helping out and coordinating this activity. So on behalf of Rob, I just want to thank all of you at the dais, and I want to thank Lance and Michael and Petra for coming on this call today and for being part of what's going to be a terrific program. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I now call on Congressman Mike Doyle to say a few words, please.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I bring you greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my colleague Mike Kelly from southwestern Pennsylvania. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I'm here with the congressional delegation that's being led by Rich Neal. I've been involved with the Good Friday agreements for the entirety of the 28 years of my service in Congress. And we got here a few days ago. We've been to Brussels, we've been to London, we're here in Ireland, and tomorrow we leave for Belfast. And the whole purpose of the trip is to nudge all parties along to get on with this Northern Ireland protocol and form the government up in Northern Ireland and secure the promise that is the Good Friday Agreement, which will celebrate 25 years pretty soon. It's kind of a remarkable achievement when you think about what it was like 30 years ago. So we want to see that continue, and we want to bring some certainty to businesses too, as we look at this north-south and east-west trade relationship. So the United States has always played a role as partner in that process. We're here to try to do that again. We know the talks on the protocol have stalled, and we're here to nudge the people that need to be nudged to get back to the negotiating table and get that done. I grew up in Pittsburgh. I've lived there all my life. My grandfather, Mike Doyle, left County Mayo in 1907 and come over, and he landed in Pittsburgh, and he got a job in Mr. Carnegie's steel mill, where he worked for 41 years. His son, my father, Mike Doyle, worked at the Edgar Thompson steel mill for 31 years. His son, Mike Doyle, worked 2 summers in the mill and thought, I don't want to work in the mill. And I got a chance to go to college and had a different lifestyle. But you know, back then, Pittsburgh was really it was a one-horse town. It was the steel capital of the world, and everyone's father, where I grew up, worked in the mill, and we all thought that's where we were going to work too. But as was mentioned, with globalization, all of a sudden the steel industry in the late 70s started to collapse, and the people that I grew up with and families that we've known forever went through a terrible hardship as that happened. These were hardworking, salt-of-the-earth people that got up every day and did a tough job, and they couldn't support their families anymore. So, you know, Pittsburgh is an interesting city. We've got tens of thousands of Irish people in Pittsburgh. As you notice, the names of the officials in the area all seem to have Irish surnames. Kelly, Doyle, Lamb, Fitzgerald's our county executive. We've done quite well as a nationality group in that city. But, you know, we didn't decide to sit around and wait for the steel mills to come back. We knew that we had to do something different if we were going to be able to survive. and we decided to, put the partnership together basically between the federal government, our academic institutions, our foundations, and our state and local delegations and business community and labor. And we brought a lot of federal research money into the area. We have some great universities, University of Pittsburgh, Duquesne, Carlisle, Carnegie Mellon. That research started things like the Robotics Institute, the Software Engineering Institute, and we started to attract some pretty smart people into the region who started to spin off some pretty interesting companies. And now Pittsburgh is a center for eds and meds, for biotech, for robotics, for autonomous vehicles, for artificial intelligence, and of course, advanced manufacturing. And I meet with CEOs from companies all the time, and one of their biggest worries that gets expressed to me, because advanced manufacturing isn't my father's and grandfather's manufacturing. You need more than a strong back to work in these fields. And what I hear about all the time is the worry that business people have about where is the talent pool going to come from? How do we train a workforce so that we have people ready to step into these jobs? And a lot of people initially look at things like robotics and autonomous vehicles and artificial intelligence and advanced manufacturing. They look at it fearfully, saying, geez, I don't know if I can do those kind of things. I don't have the skills to work in those fields. Well, the way this works is you start with our young people, and you start to give them those basic skills they're going to need to succeed in this 21st century economy. Pittsburgh is now a diverse economy. There is no one industry that can ever do to us what happened to us in the late 70s, because we decided that we were going to transform ourselves, and we've done that. And I've been very proud. I've had the pleasure of representing Pittsburgh in Congress 28 years now to watch a lot of that happen. As Jim mentioned, I've partnered with the Ireland Institute of Pittsburgh for almost as long as I've been in Congress. We have worked hand in hand with Petra Mitchell at Catalyst Connection, and we saw programs like the Walsh Visa Program, Wider Horizons, to bring young people from Ireland, North and South, Catholic and Protestant. We all got to learn to live together in this world, and also to give young people the skills that they can have a future. Because when people have a future and they have hope, that's a good thing for everyone. And so we want to see that continue to happen. So when we learned about this partnership between the Ireland Institute and Catalyst Connections, along with the Advanced Center here and with Brendan's organization, we wanted to come up here personally and divert from our schedule while the rest of our delegation has some meetings in Ireland today. But Mike and I thought this was important enough that we wanted to come up personally to say how excited we are in Pittsburgh that this partnership is going to be formed. And we think it's a win-win situation for both Pittsburgh and Ireland. So that's why we're here today. The Institute was founded like over 30 years ago, and it started with Sister Michelle O'Leary. It's really hard to say no to a nun, at least where I'm from, growing up in Catholic grade school and that. And Sister O'Leary, when she'd ask you to do something, you really couldn't say no to her. And she was this dynamic woman that started the Institute. And then later, Ambassador Dan Rooney was involved with the Institute. Another icon in Pittsburgh, and not just because of the football team he owned, but just someone that did a lot of good work in our city. And they're the ones, along with Jim Lamb, who came after Dan to try to promote peace and reconciliation in Ireland. Dan Rooney was very big on that. And this idea of just bringing young people together, especially young people that may not get a chance to ever meet one another because of the divide and the separation. So this is something that's attracted to me as an Irish American, and I've been involved with it ever since. So I just think this is wonderful. We want to say that we support it totally, that we see it as a win-win for like both areas, and we wanted to come here today to just let you know that this will have our complete support in Pittsburgh, and we look forward to the partnership and the signing today and the future for a lot of young people in your country and ours that they're going to be able to participate in this 21st century economy, make a wage that they can support a family on, and give them some hope for the future. So thank you very much. I'm very thrilled to be here.
Thank you, Congressman Doyle, for sharing your past and indeed for affirming the work that is going on here in Ireland, particularly through this Centre of Advanced Manufacturing. I now call on Congressman Mike Kelly to say a few words.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you all. Listen, my understanding, because I was just asking Brendan, I said, so how long have these folks been sitting? He said about an hour and a half, right? Would y'all like to stand up for a minute, just to kind of shake it out a little bit? I know how tough it can be. There's an old saying, the brain can only absorb what the backside can endure. So if you'd like to stand up for a minute, I think it would be entirely fitting. Oh gosh, it's good to see you all. I told my wife I was going to get a standing ovation, so thank you.
That's a cheap trick, Mike.
No, that was not a cheap trick. That was not a cheap trick. It's part of being Irish American, right? So we always put the Irish first and the American second, but thank you so much for allowing Mike and I to be here. We really enjoy each other's company. We also enjoy each other's heritage and our backgrounds because of who it is that we are. And I just think that when we have an opportunity to come together and recognize talent for what it is, and the young people we have coming along, and the opportunities that are out there today that weren't out there before. And Mike talked to you all about what we lost in Pittsburgh, because when we lost that steel production, we lost almost every small community that supported all those different mills. So when I think about the Irish, I think about what was our role? What was our role when we came to America? And I want you to think about it. We were in the mines and we were in the mills. We mined the coal that fired the furnaces that the mills used to make steel. And we're also on the rails and the rivers that we could also bring in the materials we needed to make steel and then to ship them out around the country. We've always made things in Western Pennsylvania. It's just who we are. It's who we are as that part of the country, and that's who we are as that part of who we are as Irish. We never stop, we never quit, we never walk away from any challenge. We welcome it, in fact, because we embrace that. We embrace that opportunity to get on the field and really play. Now, if you look at America, you look at names like Michael's already mentioned, Carnegie and Westinghouse and Mellon, who's from Omaha County, Tyrone, and others who led an industrial revolution that changed the world in Pittsburgh. Now, a century later, the greater Pittsburgh area continues to lead the world as a manufacturing center of excellence, drawing on the talents and energy of innovators and entrepreneurs. World-class universities like Pitt, Carnegie Mellon University, and the private-public partnerships that help turn ideas into reality. The difference is today's manufacturers rely on robots, artificial intelligence, advanced materials, and no surprise, you find all those things being made in abundance in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I really want to thank Petra Mitchell and the Catalyst Connection. Her team has had a tremendous role in this partnership, making Pittsburgh's manufacturing sector available to Irish students and bringing young people into our area. So I went to the University of Notre Dame, and some of you may recognize that, some of you may not. It's a football institution, actually. We do learning on the side. But so much of what I think about when I think of Notre Dame, you know how we got our name, right? You know, early on, the University of Notre Dame was called the Ramblers. And I want you to think of who it is we are as Irish and who we are as Irish Americans, and why was Notre Dame playing football and they were being called the Ramblers? And you know why they were being called the Ramblers? Because nobody wanted to play them. They were from another area of the world. They had no right to be in college. They had no right to be learning. And they had no right to be in these universities that didn't welcome them because they were all migrants. So they were called the Ramblers because they had to go all over the United States to see if they could find somebody who would play them, allow them to come into their cities, allow them to come onto their fields, and allow them to play football against them. After one particularly embarrassing game for one of these universities that thought, well, we'll let them in. We'll let them in. Well, they did let us in. And when we came in, we trounced them. We beat them. We beat them badly. And the writers said the next day, you should have seen them when they came in here. They're nothing but a bunch of tough, rough, damn fighting Irish. And our university said, you know what? We'll keep that name. We'll keep that name. And to this day, and you're going to see the Irish will be here in another year. Keep in mind the song When Irish Come In. It's always that chant, here come the Irish, here come the Irish. And so I want you to think about who you're sending to America. The students will have an opportunity to come there, and the opportunities that exist because we recognize talent has no color, has no gender, has no religion, but has all kind of future. So thank you for allowing us to be here today. But again, I want to thank Petra for the job that she's done. The Catalyst Congregation has been just so phenomenal for bringing out the talent. And for thank all of you for allowing us to be here. I'm sorry you had to wait for us, but we got tied up in another luncheon, and then Michael said, you know what, Kelly, you don't need to eat. Look at yourself in the mirror. So we made our way back up here, but we really enjoy being with you, and we really enjoy your commitment to the youth and to the idea of the importance of opportunity everywhere. So thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you for allowing Mike and I to be here with you today. So go Irish.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Congressman Kelly. We're now going to set up for the signing of the MOUs. So just while Michael's doing that, I just noticed Sean Boylan, our former manager of the Meath football team, in the audience. And to acknowledge and salute Sean's achievement in GAA circles and indeed elsewhere, but I could see him smiling as Congressman Kelly there reflected on his days in Notre Dame and the football.
You know, Kelly played football for Notre Dame. That's why you heard that speech.
Yeah. Before helmets.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Enjoy it as well. Thanks, Mike. You can exchange it. Swap. You're right. Swap them out. There we go. Just about. One of these things. Give a smile there and have a look towards each other. Don't look at me there. That's it. Man, you look at Brett, not there. They say good. I look at Bert. I do laugh. I see the kid moves. Okay, there we go.
No job's complete till the paperwork is done, they say. So look, by way of concluding, just to express our deep appreciation to Congressman Mike Doyle and Mike Kelly for attending today, to all of the invited guests for coming and affirming the good work being done. We are firmly of the view that a rising tide lifts all boats. We believe through people working together, cooperating right across the island, right across Europe and into America, that's how we're going to make the greatest gains, the greatest impact, proof ourselves against the impacts of, if you like, global shocks and things like that beset nations right across the world. So it is of critical importance that we build on the signing of documents today, that they don't just be a paper exercise and that we don't see it as a job completed. The work really just starts here for the centre and for the Irish people as such. We now have a small presentation to both congressmen, which we'd like to make now. So what we have is the Doyle coat of arms for Congressman Doyle. And Congressman Kelly.
Thank you.
And that concludes proceedings today. There will be photographs downstairs in the robotics training room.
We have a presentation we'd like to make to you and Brendan. So, you know, in commemoration of this event, Mike and I would like to present you and Brendan with a little token of our appreciation too. So, congratulations.
Brendan, right here with me, go that side, good.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you're going to chase us out of here. Yeah.
So we're just going downstairs now for some photographs in the robotics training room because congressmen have to depart for Dublin fairly promptly. So if you want to have a tour of the facility now, feel free. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, geez, yeah.